Hi guys, welcome back to the vlog from me and Miller. You gonna say hi to the peeps? Say hi to the vlog. Coming to you guys with no eye makeup on today because today is actually a Friday morning. I have booked out the morning to go and get some eyelash extensions done. I've never done eyelash extensions ever before. They're not doing like a full set today. They're just gonna do, I don't know what they call it, but I think it's just like the outer corners of my lashes. I'm trialing out some eyelash extensions for the wedding. I think I'll do like a full set for the actual day, but they just want to test out to make sure that I don't have any reactions to like the glues and stuff, because obviously that would be extremely bad if you went in like the days before your wedding and then you came out with like super swollen eyes. I'm not sure how I'm gonna feel about it because sometimes I think eyelash extensions can look a little bit too dramatic, like if you're not used to seeing yourself in that way. So I'm a little bit not nervous, but just like interested to see what I'm gonna think. Although I do think that these ones are gonna be more subtle. They're supposed to be more subtle, so nothing too crazy. But yeah, I thought I would kickstart this vlog with a little before and after of these eyelash extensions. Don't know if I'll be able to really, you know, like take you guys along for the experience, but you'll see me in, you know, 5 seconds from now with different eyelashes. Okay, so I am all done and have just left the eyelash place. They're like very... I'll do like a proper little look when I get back, but I'm just gonna head home. They're very natural, which is what I was going for, which is nice. And I'm just filming on my iPhone, so the quality is probably not very good, but yeah. I am finally back home. And here are the eyelashes. I feel like you can probably see a little bit better on this camera, but obviously they are quite natural and subtle. They call it like a flare, so it's just on like these outside lashes. It's nice because it's like your eyelashes, but just a little bit better. Nothing like too crazy glam. And yeah, this is like just the test. So when I go back next time, I think I'll probably do more like a full proper set. So that was my first time getting eyelash extensions. I actually found that a little bit difficult, only because you're lying down for like quite a while. And also, I never really thought about it, but my eyes, like when someone's around my eyelashes or up in my, you know, eyelid area, like my eyelids were like really twitchy for like the first 10 minutes of that appointment. I was like, oh my God, how is she gonna do anything? Like my eyes are just so sensitive. But after a while it got a little bit better. I don't feel like I ever hear anybody talking about that, but it wasn't like exactly a super relaxing experience, just because I'm like, oh my God, like my eyes need to calm down and just be okay with it. Now I'm gonna see what Nick thinks. If he can even notice a difference. I bet Nick won't even notice a difference because it is subtle. What do you think, Nick? Can you tell it all? No, you can't tell it all, can you?
It's slightly longer on the edges.
It's like just the edge ones, so it's nothing crazy. I don't think he can really tell. I think he's just saying. It's like Billy's eyelashes, but not as crazy. Ding! Okay, good morning guys. It is now Saturday morning. We woke up and originally had planned to go to the markets today. I thought this is gonna be a good vlog. We're gonna go to the markets. We're gonna get some interesting food for the week. We're gonna just have, you know, those fun Saturday vibes. However, we woke up and it is miserable
Feeling
outside. Crusty. Nick has a problem with his neck, that you busted your neck.
Pulled it. I think it's more like the shoulder.
No, he's pulled a muscle in his shoulder and he was not having the best sleep last night. And we woke up and it's super cloudy. It's like all week it's been so nice and sunny and perfect. And then today, when I'm like, oh, let's do a vlog, let's go to the markets, let's like be outside, it's miserable. So I don't know if we're really gonna bother going to the markets this morning. I don't think it's part of the plan.
We can still make tiramisu.
We were gonna make tiramisu today. Tiramisu. We're gonna make tiramisu today, like a low sugar, keto, paleo, you know, probably not paleo actually, just keto and sugar-free version. So we'll explore that at some point today, but
I don't think we realize how many steps are actually going, because we're gonna, like, we can't just pop down to the shop and buy like those ladyfinger biscuits because they're not
oh yeah, you know, when you're doing like paleo, you have to make every part of the dessert.
So we have to make the biscuits. We're gonna have to make the sweet coffee thing to roll it in, basically the Kahlua. and then we're gonna have to make the egg. Now, I'm already kind of over it thinking about it.
But Nick's favorite dessert is like a tiramisu. I'll put this here. Might make it a bit easier. But Nick's like favorite dessert Nick's favorite dessert is like a tiramisu, and there used to be this restaurant a couple of years ago. If you're in Brisbane, I'm wondering if any of you guys went there or can remember it, but it was a restaurant done by Pete Evans. It was in the Capri Hotel, I think, so it was in the city, and it was the most amazing restaurant that has ever existed. It had paleo everything, like the only restaurant out there that I've ever been to that is like fully, you know, gluten-free, paleo everything. He did like a buffet breakfast in the morning that I think we went to it like 3 times, and that was like a big deal because we lived quite far away from the city, so we'd have to like drive all the way in. It was like a whole morning event that we wanted to go to this special buffet breakfast that had like paleo muffins, and not even like, you know, when something's just gluten-free, so it's like made on tapioca flour. I'm talking like he was making muffins on almond flour. It was the full bit, like everything was super duper healthy.
He had like pizzas with like an almond base and cashew cheese.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, they used to do like the paleo pizzas, and we would always, sorry, the lighting on this camera is going a bit nutty. But yeah, he did like these paleo pizzas that were on like an almond meal base with like cashew cheese. It was so good. We would go there for birthdays, like every special event, and it didn't last. It didn't last for whatever reason. I think there's probably a few problems with running a paleo restaurant because your expenses would be pretty high, and it only attracts like a very niche, specific kind of person like us. We did talk about it a lot and try to encourage people to go there, but unfortunately it didn't live. Anyway, that is such a side tangent. I only thought of that because they used to do a paleo tiramisu and Nick was obsessed with getting it. And I think the last time that we went there, he wanted to get the tiramisu. I said, no, let's get something else. And then after that, they closed the restaurant. So now we have to make it ourselves at home. So yeah, personally, actually, I'm not like the biggest tiramisu fan. Let us know in the comments if you're into tiramisu. It's just not like always super duper my kind of thing, but Nick loves it. Nick, I just realized that your shirt is on inside out. The tags are hanging out the back. Is that, oh, because that's the shirt that has words on the front. Because I saw you this morning, I was like, something's wrong. I thought that shirt had words, it's just a plain shirt. I was like, oh. Anyway. This morning, that was probably super boring, but this morning we are just about to make some coffee and we are going to be doing it in our little percolator. We've been doing this throughout the week because one of you guys mentioned it in the comments on our previous vlog that we should try doing the percolator coffee. And we do actually have a percolator. It's just, I don't know, we used it like years ago and then kind of forgot about it. So we've been trying it out for, you know, like the past week just to see if it's a better option for us or something that we just have to, you know, get back into rather than the French press, because, you know, in our last vlog we were talking about the possibility of buying a proper like coffee espresso machine. We are giving the percolator a good shot, and thanks so much as well for all of your recommendations in the comments, because it really does help, like, to know what people's experiences are, because you can buy a machine and not know, you know, how long is it going to last. In 3 years, is it going to have like all of these little niggles and problems? So thank you very much for all of your helpful comments. We're going to be trying the percolator coffee for a little bit longer, and then we will see about whether or not we need to upgrade to like a full-on machine or not. But yeah, gonna make some coffee. What's that? So Nick is gonna make some omelets. Do you need help?
No.
I feel really bad because, you know, I'm not helping, but at the same time, he doesn't want my help. I feel like you get annoyed when I try to help.
It's just eggs.
So while Nick starts making some scrambled eggs, I might as well show you my new plant baby. Oh, lighting. Oh, sorry, Bill. Sorry, Chicky Bee. Just bumped into Billy. I'll show you my new plant baby that I just picked up. I'll flip you guys around. So I've got this little, I don't know what you call these, kind of like a calathea, but like different, like the leaves are a lot smaller. I think this pot is actually going to be too big for him, so I'm not going to actually repot him just yet. I might put him into a different pot altogether because my maiden hair fern has officially cucked it. Just really did not like the lighting in the apartment, which is tricky because our apartment just doesn't get a lot of sunlight, like a lot of natural sunlight. It does in certain places, like right here at the front of the apartment we get some sun, but there's like the back means all of the plants are struggling, even like this guy, which we have stationed at the front, and maybe he seems like he's doing well, but these leaves are not liking the low light scenario. And then I do have my office upstairs. Oh, we all know about this guy. He's thriving because devil's ivy can thrive in pretty much any condition. But I do also have my office upstairs, which gets a lot of light, but it's kind of like on and off. It's either blasting and super hot, which is too much for the plants, so I have to end up closing the blinds for most of the day, just so that things aren't getting baked in there. But yeah, that doesn't make an ideal plant habitat either. But yeah, these guys are just not doing that well. The leaves are kind of not cute. They're too tiny. I just feel like he's not thriving. So I'm hoping that this guy will be okay, because she said that he does okay with lower lighting scenarios, and I'm gonna try and keep him way up at the front of the apartment. I've got this little like table up here that I've been doing like recipes and reels and filming on because our kitchen is so dark. I'm getting in trouble for eating too many pickles.
This jar is like empty.
I'm allowed to eat the pickles.
Oh, yeah, I know, but it's just a concerning amount of pickle.
Is any amount of pickle a concerning amount of pickle? I put them in your salad yesterday.
Well, I suppose we have been using them.
I don't mind the fact that the navigation thing is going to keep talking in the background. That's inevitable, but a little update. Obviously our plans to go to the market this morning were vetoed by the weather. Nick also is going to skip his CrossFit workout this morning because his neck is giving him some grief. So instead, we're doing something random this morning. We're gonna go out and look at a few different properties, just doing like some Saturday inspections to see what's around. You guys know that we do this every so often. Not that we're really planning on moving anytime soon, so we weren't sure if we were gonna get kicked out in June this year, because our lease is coming up in June. So we got on to the owner and they're going to extend our lease for, we can choose either 6 months or a year. So I'm not sure what we're gonna do yet. We're not obviously looking to move anywhere like right now. However, you guys know that we just like to tour different places and see what's available, like different price ranges and what you can get for different, you know, different stuff. But yeah, so we're going to be looking at a few townhouses this morning. Again, probably won't end up taking you guys inside because sometimes it's a little bit awkward, especially depending how many people have shown up that morning. But we're going to go have a look at a townhouse now, and then we're going to stop by the butcher. So we're going to do a trip out to the organic butcher this morning, pick up some meat for the week, and I'll probably do a supermarket run later this afternoon. So there will most likely be a grocery haul coming up at some stage, but that is the plans for the morning. We might also stop off somewhere and get a coffee, even though we've had coffee this morning, but you know, something to keep the day fun. So yeah, we will check in with you guys in a bit. Alrighty, so we have stopped off for a coffee, and the first place was no bueno. Unfortunately, it again is a case of the photos being a lie, especially in terms of lighting. I feel like they just adjust the brightness, like they crank it right up in post-production, and then when you go there it's just like a dark little box. And we all know, sorry, we're on a main road right now, but we all know that in the next place that we move into, I want it to have like really good natural light. So that's what I'm looking for. But yeah, onwards and upwards, we're going to enjoy our coffee, and then I think we're gonna head to the butcher after that. Or are we going straight to the next place and then butcher after?
So there's 2 more places and then there's a butcher.
Okay guys, we are back home and we did our weekly shop, so I thought I would take you through everything that we bought. We also stopped by the butcher, so you know the drill, let's do it. We'll start off with the things that we got at the butcher. So we got some organic lamb and garlic sausages. So these ones are just good because we pop them in the freezer like for a night when we might not be prepared, but we kind of just like to buy some backup meat, so we might not even necessarily eat this week, but just good to have some stuff in the freezer. We got some organic chicken thighs, so they're like bone in, and we're going to be using them to make Nick's lunches this week. And then down the bottom we have some stewing meat as well. We've mentioned it before, but we bring along these glass containers so that we can avoid as much plastic as possible, and they're generally pretty happy to pop it straight into our containers. Then moving on to this corner, we have some cos lettuce. I usually like to buy like my salad greens organic because they tend to be things that are heavier in pesticides, but they aren't doing cos at the moment in the organic section, and I just really felt like eating like something more crunchy rather than like, you know, soft spinach leaves and stuff like that. Then we have some mushrooms for our stew, some bananas that I'm going to freeze for smoothies, onions, garlic, some broccolini for fish nights, like when we just do fish and like sauteed vegetables. So we have a few bunches of broccolini, some sweet potatoes, tomato that I'm gonna chop up for salads throughout the week. So I like to do like burrito bowls, so I usually do like a little salsa with our tomato and then also our red onion. We have some capsicums for Nick's lunches. We have a whole leek for our stew. So 2 nights of the week we're going to be doing stew. So we've got our stewing meat. I'm not sure which cuts. Gravy beef, supposedly. But yeah, you just want like a soft cut that's going to break down easily. So yeah, we have a leek for our stew. We have some zucchinis, good for sauteing and dinners. Broccoli, another red onion. We have some cauliflower to make cauliflower mash. We've been really obsessed with cauliflower mash lately, especially if you do it with stew. It like makes a really nice base for the whole thing. We have some organic butter, some pickles, which you know we've been obsessed with lately. I have some organic raspberries that I'm going to put into jelly. I've got 2 big bags of avocados because they were on sale for like $6.50 each. So I like to mash these up into like a guacamole and then put them into ice cube trays for smoothies in the morning. Just adds like a good amount of thickness to your smoothie. And then I got a regular avocado that's nearly ripe that I'm going to use for salads and stuff. Also got some goat's cheese, just good for salads again. Some kefir, which I like to make into like treats and stuff for Billy. She really loves a kefir. And we're going to be having her sister Lucy staying with us as of tomorrow, which I'm sure you guys will see. So I will be doing some little kefir treats for them. Some eggs. We have like 3 packets of eggs here, which is way more than we would normally get, but Nick said that he needs some for his tiramisu. And then we have a liter of kombucha, which lasts us about a week, and some sugar-free cordial. So this seems like something that I would not buy. It does have some weird things in it, but the sweetener is erythritol, which isn't too bad. And I make this into like a keto jelly for Nick. I'm sure that there's probably a better way that we could do that I haven't quite explored yet, but in the meantime that's what we're doing. And yeah, there's also a few things for Nick's tiramisu, but I kind of ran out of bench space here. So yeah, this is pretty much our entire haul. I think the vegetables, like our shop, cost about $170, and then what was the meat shop, Nick? And then like $60 for the organic meat. So yeah, that is what we're going to be eating this week, and like a little bit longer than that, because obviously when you buy like big bunches of bananas and avocados and things, that's going to last more than 1 week. And also, you know, like things like this where we're just thinking ahead. But yeah, right, we are making some salads, and I'm also going to be using this aioli, which is really good. It's like a good fat based aioli, so it's made on olive oil rather than like a lot of commercial sauces and things are like sunflower oil, canola oil, just crappy oils that are inflammatory. So we have this good one that I bought the other day. It is a little bit weird after you refrigerate it, like it needs a minute or 2. So I have just got these salads with some cos and some tomato and a little bit of cheese. Gonna pop this on, and then we've got our patties, which you can probably hear cooking in the background.
But it's not a salad without pickles.
Because we're doing some grass-fed burger patties, which are cooking just over here. We're kind of making like a cheeseburger salad, if that even makes sense. So we've got a little bit of cheese. Nick is now cutting up. What is happening here? And Nick is cutting up some pickles that we're gonna put in there as well. And we've also got some relish as well, which we may or may not use. We'll see how we're feeling. We are about to eat our lunch. Okay, so we have our lunch. It does not look very pretty, so don't mind that. We've got our burger patty that we have cut up, pickle, tomato, cos, our mayo, and yeah, I'm going to eat. A little bit later in the afternoon, me and Nick just popped out after lunch to go and pick up his suit from the tailor. So his wedding suit is all done now. We may have stopped in and bought some cakes, gluten-free, dairy-free cakes from Nodo because a new one just opened up around the corner. They look so good. I feel like it was only like last week where I was like, we're being so good at the moment. We don't buy coffee out, we're not eating out. And then today I'm just like, we're blowing it. We're just going all out. But I don't know, I was craving a donut actually, but when we went there, I think it's a little bit late in the day, like it's about 2 p.m. at the moment. So they were sold out of all of their donuts and stuff. If you're in Australia, you obviously would already have heard of Nodo because they do like all gluten-free, a lot of vegan stuff as well, but their donuts are really good. But yeah, what I have here, we have a brownie that has some sort of peanut butter in it and then a vegan slice. I'm very excited. All right, it is later in the afternoon. I think it's about 3:30ish. I'm going to try and go for a quick run. I haven't gone running in a really long time because it was kind of stuffing up my back as well. It's always like my back, my back. But yeah, so I'm just gonna go for a really short one, like nothing crazy by any means. I just don't really feel like lifting weights this afternoon. I don't know why, so I'm gonna work with that. I'm gonna do something different and we'll see how we go. All right, run is completed. And now we're gonna take Billy for a walk. That was a really short one. I don't even know what the distance would be, but keeping it simple for starters. So it is now Sunday, the next day. It's a little bit after lunch. We've just had lunch and Nick is going to get stuck into making his tiramisu.
Careful, I'm trying. It's very important here. I'm trying to separate the yolks.
So Nick's making a tiramisu, as I said yesterday. We didn't end up doing it yesterday, so it's been pushed forward to today. I don't know that I'm gonna like show you guys the entire recipe and bore you because like isn't our recipe, we're using one off the internet. So what are we doing?
We are currently making the ladyfinger biscuits.
Okay, so tiramisu essentially, can you wrap up what a tiramisu is in 10 seconds or less?
Biscuits, cream, eggs, coffee liqueur.
Yeah, so it's like a base of like biscuit with like a coffee creamy thing.
Ladyfinger biscuits, you can buy them in the shops, or if you're annoying like me, you make them yourself. And then next step after that, you have to make the cream egg mixture. Then you coat with the biscuits in the coffee liqueur and then you kind of layer it.
So currently we are making the biscuit. So you've got yolks. This is a very interesting method that you're doing. How many yolks do you need?
Well, I'm making 4 times the biscuit recipe.
Man, I'm gonna have to think of what to do with the whites. I'm gonna be.
No, we use the whites too.
Oh, okay. So this is for the biscuit, and then that's for the frothy thing.
No, they're both. It's all for the biscuit.
Oh, all for the biscuit.
You gotta risk it for the biscuit. I don't know why I said that. There's nothing that's at risk here.
I have accepted the batoon.
The number one reason to be in a relationship is so that someone else can take over whisking.
I don't know why everything about this whisking thing feels suggestive.
What do you mean? It's just whisking.
I don't know what it is.
What are you talking about? Beat those eggs.
Oh my god, it's really hot. How much longer do I have to go?
It's got to be very firm.
I literally, like, that's it for me.
Jump out. You reckon, is that very stiff?
I think it's pretty stiff if when you lift it up it follows and holds, you know? That's what I consider a stiff peak to be. I think it's probably okay.
But you tell me the truth. I'm so happy with you. Now I want to do good. Keep my covenant with you. No longer will I look back to the sin I did. Surely
the biscuits have come out of the oven. You got like a sweat. But they look cute. I want to eat one, but I know I can't. I know I can't.
Where I know I'm free.
Originally, I was gonna put this tiramisu in a large tray bowl thing.
But I bullied him into doing it in jars because I feel like if you're making tiramisu, right, it's all about how pretty the layer looks.
Which is probably right. The only trouble is that we then should have made the biscuits a little bit
You kind of break them up though, don't you,
smaller.
anyway?
You can, or you can layer them. I just don't know how I'm gonna.
Get that, well, you'd have to like break them in half, I guess. And
Yeah. But I've also got to. I'm gonna be using a bit of Kahlua.
so that's the only part that's not sugar-free. But then in
Yeah.
the scheme of things, it's not that much.
Yeah, it's not really gonna be a lot. I'll just be dipping, then I'll be putting them in, then I'll be layering on, and then if you're expecting paleo, this isn't paleo, obviously.
There's like a lot of dairy.
This is dairy
This is
galore.
keto, but
Yeah. I have no idea where to start.
don't you have to make this?
Yep.
You're just pouring it straight into the cooler and that's all.
Yep. Into little cookie
What else?
pieces.
Yeah.
See, I don't want to like have them
Overly
saturated either.
involved. I mean, if you don't think it's going to work after you do one, you can always switch to the...
I mean, it's not very sexy, but this is the first.
First one. Okay, change of plans. We tried the jar method. It was bad. The ratio was wrong. It was looking terrible. So now we are doing it in the tray. So we've layered like, we've already done a layer, like our cookie, and then we're adding in like the, I don't know what you call the other layer.
I don't know, like the cream kind of, whatever it's called.
And I don't know what we're gonna do with all of this. Like, honestly, why did we do this?
Because I just, monkey brain went,
I want tiramisu.
press button.
Now I don't know how we're gonna eat all of this. Because I honestly am not even a big fan of tiramisu. Anything
Oh.
creamy. I don't like things that are creamy for some
It's a
reason.
good thing it's keto.
You'll be eating this for breakfast. That's what I'm hearing.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So we're gonna dust it lastly with some cacao. Tap, 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 roo.
But that doesn't dust lightly.
I think it's dusted plenty, Nick. I feel like this recipe was a little bit of a fail.
That's why we didn't give you the recipe. Okay, that needs to set.
Okay, so now that goes in the fridge. We'll be back later when we actually...
Like cover this with a beeswax or something.
Yeah. Okay, it's much later, our Sunday night. We are on to our dinner, which is pretty much nearly ready to serve. So I'll quickly show you what we've made.
Beef stew!
It's very enthusiastic. So we have a beef stew, so hopefully the meat will be nice and soft. And then we also have some cauliflower that I've just popped into our food processor. I've steamed this already. I'm just in like a steaming basket, so I'm going to blend this into like a nice cauliflower mash. This is a really nice pairing, like with stews and stuff. So I just added some salt, pepper, and butter. You could also do like some ghee if you don't want to do butter specifically. Or I don't know, otherwise maybe you could even do like some coconut cream or something if you just want to add like a little bit of creaminess to your cauliflower mash, but looking really good. Okay, so I've just served out my dinner. I know this is not like the most pretty thing in the world, not the most aesthetic dinner, but I am so excited to eat this. This is like such a good meal. So the stew has like some carrot, onion, garlic obviously, and mushrooms in there, and then the cauliflower is like, even though this looks like potato mash, it's kind of like another serve of vegetables in there. So okay, we finished dinner and now we're going to have some of this tiramisu for dessert. I probably mentioned already before, but I'm typically not a fan of like cream. Like my whole life I just don't really like cream and like super creamy stuff, like if it's too rich, but we'll see what we think. It is a lot of dairy. Nick just licking the spoon, but it looks good. Okay, just did the taste test and it's pretty good. What do you think?
That's pretty good.
Worth as much time and effort as you put into it or not?
I would make it only on special occasions.
Yeah, that was a huge amount of work, but yeah, tastes good. Now we have like a week's worth of tiramisu. I think maybe we should actually freeze some of it. I think there's just too much there for 2 people to eat.
Especially before a wedding.
Yeah, I still have to fit into a dress. I think we're probably gonna freeze a great portion of that so that we can come back to it. Otherwise, I think I'm gonna go ahead and sign off the vlog here. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and we will see you in our next video.
Bye.
Bye.
To where my